Sisters, do you guys want to come out of the corner so we can see you? Please. Hiding. Is the mic working? Oh yeah, you could hear.
All right, we're going to start in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Huh? Lunch it? Oh, no, it's not that. You can use it. Sorry.
No, so we're gonna see the question.
We're talking so that we can listen to the question. You don't have it, huh? No. Okay, so we're getting ready to start the real game. It's 45 questions, and you have 10. Yeah, and you have 10 seconds. Please make sure to use your first name and last initial of your last name. So if you win, the first 5 places will have gift cards. First 5. All right. The PIN number is 212-5846, or you can scan the QR code. 212-5846. We have 30 players so far. 31. All right, everybody ready? All right, we're getting started.
All right, first question of the Islamic knowledge quiz. In the process of doing wudu, how many times should you wash your hands, mouth, and nose, arms to the elbows and feet?
All right, next question. Is hanging amulets in your house or vehicle with the thought that it will protect you or bless you allowed?
Next question. What foot to enter the toilet?
Next question. What do you say before wudu?
question, what dua do you say when entering the toilet room?
Next question. If in a state of major impurity, you must perform blank.
If in a state of minor impurity, you must perform wudu. True or false?
Next question, true or false again. Adhan can be announced by anyone, i.e. a disbeliever.
Next question, who was named the pure Tahira in the days before Islam?
Next question. As Muslims, we are encouraged to pray tahajjud in the last third of the night. How many rakats did the Prophet ﷺ pray?
True or false? Is jewelry, i.e. necklaces, bracelets, and earrings permissible in Islam for males? Silver ring can be worn by men.
That's two questions. Next question. Is it permissible to listen to music in Islam?
Type the answer. With what foot should you enter the toilet room with, left or right? Please type your answer.
Next question. What is the ruling on wearing black clothes for mourning?
Are pictures of humans and animals allowed to be hung in our houses?
True or false? Gambling is allowed in Islam.
What is the first murder on earth?
Next question. Can women wear perfume or makeup when leaving their home?
Is it allowed for women to wear fake hair extensions?
Next question. Are Muslims required to get married?
Can one paint or photograph living things?
Next question. When hearing or reading the Prophet ﷺ's name being mentioned, you must send greetings. What should you say? Oh, I just said it.
Next question. Charity actually increases one's wealth. How?
Is it allowed to take or give interest in Islam?
Is it allowed to talk while in the toilet room? Yes or no? Please type your answers.
We have 20 questions left. The leader so far is Jawad.
True or false? Muslim men can wear gold.
Is it allowed in Islam to date, boyfriend, girlfriend?
True or false? Visiting the sick is a sunnah.
Next question. What is kafara?
Next question. What is the miracle of Ibrahim alayhi salam?
Next question. Is every Muslim asked to propagate Islam?
Next question. Are lotteries involving money allowed in Islam?
Next question, true or false? Women can trim eyebrows.
Next question, who protects life and death?
Next question, multi-select. What was the first two sins upon earth? Select two choices.
True or false? Double points. Muslims can spy on each other.
Are Muslim women allowed to dress like men?
Is it allowed to talk while in the toilet room?
Next question, does talking or laughing during prayer nullify the prayer?
Next question, why do women in Islam required to veil?
Is a Muslim allowed to love or venerate disbelievers, atheists or singers, etc.?
Next question, is it allowed in Islam to scoff or mocker and name calling at each other?
Next question, true or false? In Islam, it is fard to attend janazah, meaning if not all can attend, some must attend, or it will be sinful on all.
Type your answer for this one. It is the blank to use little water when doing wudu.
Next question, can women shake the hands of non-mahram men?
Third, we have Mariam Fal, and then Izzy Malone. And the winner is Jawad C. No, he's a college student or something.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We always do this. This is like my tradition every time I come to this masjid, my masjid. I always have to say the salam at least more than one time. You know, the first time I'll say it, and then I'm like, oh, come on, guys, we got to say it again. And then everybody's waking up a little bit. So we're going to try the salam again, all right? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There you go. It never fails, mashallah. So, alhamdulillah, we just completed the Kahoot tournament. And I'm sorry I came late. SubhanAllah, if I came on time, I would have protested to Uncle Usman that I only wanted only the kids to participate because I wanted them to see their names on the screen. But we went through and weeded out the adults that played. Well, to their credit, mashallah, they did well, the adults too. But as for the first five places, and I hope these names are names of kids, inshallah. The first place that we're going with is Izzy Malone. Who's that? So Izzy Malone is going to be the first place, mashallah. Takbir. Awesome. Inshallah. So you're the first place, barakallahu fiqh. Then Maryam Fall. Wait, sorry. Maryam Fall. You guys don't have to come. I just want to mention your names so we know who you are. So inshallah, we're going to give you your prices, inshallah. Then Mami Aisha Boy, I think, right? I think Mami Aisha Boy, yes. Awesome. Awan Yang. Is Awan Yang in here? Awesome. And then Hafsa Malone, I think. Oh, mashallah. I think that group over there, I don't know what they did, but they just got all the answers. I think maybe there's some special blessings on that screen. I don't know, because it seemed like they all looked at that screen. But mashallah. So I think right now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go through those questions again. This time around, we're all going to try to answer the questions together. And hopefully we're able to learn from it. Because some people didn't get them wrong, right. And hopefully we're able to see where we got right and where we didn't get right. So once we have the questions ready, we'll have them on the screen, inshallah. Yes, okay, so for the first question, in the process of doing wudu, how many times should you wash your hands, mouth, and I'm not sure what the rest of that question says. Yep, your mouth, nose, arms to the elbows. So, yes, we all know that answer, right? It's mashallah. Yeah, it says 3, I believe it said on there. Yes. So then the second question is hanging amulets in your house or vehicles with the thoughts that it will protect you or bless you allowed? And the answer is no. Why is the answer no? Who wants to tell us why is the answer no, that you shouldn't hang up amulets? Who knows what an amulet is? What is an amulet? A necklace? Good. It could be a necklace. What else could it be? Like a charm? And sometimes, how many of you guys have seen where a person hangs something in their car and it says Allah on it? How many of you have seen that? Yeah? Sometimes a person might hang the name of Allah on their car. Or a person might hang the name of Allah or the Prophet Muhammad. Or a person might hang the picture of a sheikh, like a person that, is a high sheikh that they look up to. And they hang that, or they put that in their pocket, or they take it around them with the intention that this sheikh, this picture I have of the sheikh, or this picture I have of Allah's name is going to protect me. Sometimes people do like this. They kiss it, kiss it, kiss it, kiss it. This is very bad. This is shirk. And that's why the answer says, no, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't hang up amulets in our house. We shouldn't have pictures of a sheikh that we say, we hang around our neck all the time and say, oh, I'm saying this Maulana, Maulana, Maulana. Yes. Exactly, mashallah, barakallah fiqh. Yes, he said, well, what was on the screen, that we shouldn't have those around us because this can open the door to shirk. Allahumma barik. Next question. What foot should you enter in the toilet with? What foot to enter the toilet? And the answer is, we all know the answer. You can just say the answer. Left, yes. And why is it left? Yes. They said it's left because the right has the good deeds. I guess I can take that. But ultimately, it is left because the Prophet ﷺ told us to use our left foot, okay? That's why it's left, because the Prophet ﷺ told us to do so. Next question. What do you say before wudu? Bismillah. Ooh, I gotta take this phone call. Uncle Sven, do you want to keep reading this, please? Or Brother Jawad, do you want to keep reading while I quickly take this, please? Sorry.
All right. So what dua do you say when entering the toilet room? So did any of you guys know this? Okay, yeah. Do you know it? Did anybody know this, or did you just say it because it's the longest thing on the screen? Be honest with me. Let's go. Is the longest thing on the screen? Okay. Well, this dua, just like everything we take in our religion, comes from the Sunnah. It either has to come from the Quran or the Sunnah, or from the understanding that the three favorite generations had about it. So This specific dua comes from the authentic sunnah, so that's why. That's the answer. Okay, so now you guys know why. Some guy didn't just come up with this. This is something that is from our religion, okay? So that's okay. So if you're in a state of major impurity, you must perform what? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? Huh? Wudu? No. Yeah? Ghusl. What is ghusl? Does anybody know what it is? Okay, yeah. Does anybody know what it is? Anybody know what ghusl is before I say it? No? Okay, so a ghusl is essentially, it's like a bath, but it's a special bath that you have to do to get out of the state of major impurity. So let's say, so we know you have to make wudu before you want to pray, right? That's like, we know the steps of wudu, and we all do wudu, right? But when somebody's in a state of major impurity, they have to perform ghusl, which is washing their entire body. Every single part of their body has to be washed in the ghusl in order to uplift the major impurity. So yeah, that's what ghusl is. So it's very important that we know what that is. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So for that, you guys will learn about that later. But just know, you know what ghusl is, you know why you do it, but you'll learn more about that later. So like the brother said. Okay, true or false? Adhan can be announced by anyone. Come on, guys. You guys should know this. Yep. Okay. Can it? No. Okay. You guys can see the answer. So only a Muslim, a believer in Allah, can make the adhan. Like this it's common sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Next. You want to take over?
Yeah. No, you keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So who was named the pure Tahira in the days before Islam? So this is just basic, like common Islamic knowledge that you either know or you don't know it. So the answer is Khadija in this case. Yeah.
And who was Khadija? Who knows? Yes. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam's first wife. We're having the same issue again. The name of the Prophet was said. I didn't hear anybody say sallallahu alayhi wasallam. People, please, let's say sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Jazakumullah khair.
So, as Muslims, we are encouraged to pray tahajjud in the last third of the night. So, how many rak'ahs did the Prophet ﷺ do? 10. Okay, so there's a hadith from Aisha radiallahu anha that says that the Prophet ﷺ did not exceed 11 rak'ahs in or outside of Ramadan. So we know the Prophet ﷺ prayed 10 rak'ahs of tahajjud and then also witr as well. So, is jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, or earrings permissible in Islam for males? And the second part where it says silver ring, that is just clarifying that men can wear silver rings. And the Prophet ﷺ did wear a ring. But can men wear jewelry like a necklace, like a bracelet, like how women do? No, exactly. Men cannot imitate women and women cannot imitate men. But wearing a ring is something different. That's not something that counts. Not wearing a gold ring, because gold, men cannot wear gold. So men can wear rings in this Muslim. So is it permissible to listen to music in Islam? No. Okay, so there's an authentic hadith where the Prophet ﷺ, he explained that there will be people that make things that are haram, halal, and in that he included musical instruments. And there's difference of opinion on that matter, but it's better to be safe than sorry, as they say.
We just did the music question. So it should be number 12, so we're number 13.
So I think this one is a mistake in the system because the answer is the left foot. The brother just explained that one, that it's the left foot. So this is just a mistake in the question, so don't worry about that one. Everybody got that wrong. So what is the ruling on wearing black clothes for mourning? Anybody know? Anybody can tell me? Yeah. It's not allowed. So is this something from Islam? Is this something that if you study it, it comes from Islam? No. It's something that non-Muslim people do. We cannot imitate non-Muslim people. Okay, we're Muslims. We have our own identity. We have our own way. Anything we do, it comes from the Quran, the Sunnah, and the understanding of the Salaf al-Salih. Simple, basic stuff. So when it comes to things like this, in their cultural practices, we cannot imitate them, and that's a general rule. But if you guys have questions, just ask somebody who knows. Ask the Imam, ask the people of knowledge if you have any questions about more particular things. So, yeah? Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, it's right, it's right. A lot of it comes down to the intention and the purpose of why you're wearing it. So you can wear black, but if you're wearing it for the purpose of mourning and you want to show respect and condolences, then you start getting into the dangerous territory. So you have to, again, learn as much as you can, ask questions. You guys are allowed to ask questions. Nobody has all the knowledge. Okay, you guys gotta ask questions. So are pictures of humans and animals allowed to be hung in our houses? And I'll extend that question. Can they be hung in masajid? Okay, does anyone know the answer to to those questions? No. The answer is no. So, yeah, exactly. The answer is no. And this is from an authentic hadith that the angels will not enter houses where there are pictures being hung. And especially in the masajid, we cannot have images in there because in churches, they have a lot of images in them. Like Catholic churches, they have a lot of images and things. We cannot have images. There are things that we cannot have. True or false? Gambling is allowed in Islam. False, yes. Gambling is completely prohibited in Islam and it has a lot of forms.
So, can anyone explain what is gambling? Let me see someone has not raised their hand before. Yes. Yes. Playing games for money. MashaAllah. Anybody else has an example of gambling? Yes. You said playing the lottery? Spending your money to earn more money. Good, mashallah. And then sometimes we might gamble with our friends, right? A friend might tell you that I dare you or something, I'll put money down, you put money down, whoever wins. That is haram. So if a friend even tells you that, even if it was your food, like, hey, we're having lunch, we're eating lunch, or we're at lunch at school, and someone wants to say, if something happens or not happen, I'll take your food, you give me your food. That also is not allowed, okay?
Okay, so can women wear perfume or makeup when leaving their home? No, okay. The answer is no. And this comes from the concept in Islam that women cannot make tabarruj. They cannot expose their beauty to the outside, to non-mahram men and things like that. And that specific thing about perfume comes from an authentic hadith, and it's a very scary warning that women should not wear perfume when going outside their house. But women can wear perfume makeup in front of their husbands or inside of their homes. But we have to be careful about doing things that go beyond the limits of Islam, because Allah made the perfect limits for us to follow. Allah Azza wa Jal is Al-Hakim. He is the most wise. So in whatever rulings Allah has given to us, we have to follow them, and we don't have any complaints, any issues. Okay? So is that it, Yani? Okay. Do you want to take this one?
No, keep going. You're doing great.
So is it allowed for women to wear fake hair extensions? Somebody who has not answered it. Is it? No, the answer is no. And this is, I think the answer is right there. This can count as changing the creation of Allah. Allah Azza wa Jal created us in the perfect way. We don't have to do those things that go beyond the limits and that alter the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. You guys are created perfectly, so don't even worry about those things. You know? Are Muslims required to get married? No. Are they required? Is it like obligatory that if they don't get... Okay, yeah. But it's highly recommended for them to get married. It's a sunnah for them to get married. But it's not obligatory. In fact, one of the big scholars in Islam, Imam al-Nawawi, he did not get married. And he is one of the most respected scholars in Islam, but he died relatively early in his 40s, and he did not get married. This is just an example that it's not obligatory. But
and with Imam Nawawi not getting married, this was not because he did not want to get married, as far as we know. This was because of the work that he was doing and the fact that Allah didn't prolong his life. So he lived a relatively short life. Okay. And because of this, Allah didn't write that he was going to get married.
Sahih, yeah. But it's not obligatory. But you guys should get married, and it's highly recommended. And it's a beautiful thing. And maybe as kids, and even me, we're young, right? I'm only 18. I'm not like 25 or 30. I'm only 18, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm only 18, alhamdulillah. And let it grow, let it follow the sunnah, khalas, just follow the sunnah, it's not hard, Anyway, no, yeah, I'm 18, alhamdulillah, I just graduated high school, alhamdulillah. But the point is, what was the point we were saying, I lost my, about getting married. It becomes something that becomes more and more, relevant when you get a little bit older in your 20s and, get up there. So Yeah, mine when you're 18, yeah. Us, hey. And not about me, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah. It's important to get married, and it's a very beautiful thing. And there are a lot of things about the topic of marriage that we need to get into as well later on, inshallah. Like, how to find the right spouse and things like that. You know, we have to pick the good spouse that will make us better Muslims. You know what I mean? So that's a very important thing. And marriage is a very important thing in Islam. So keep that in mind, guys, when you get older. So can one paint or photograph living things? And I'll extend it again. Can somebody draw them with their hand? Like, can somebody like make a really realistic drawing and put the eyes and the ears and everything? No. So this is again an authentic hadith that I forgot the exact wording of the hadith, but it's prohibited for us to make to make images, image making. Like, you know, just like, for example, people in like the Greek and Roman times, how they used to make statues. They used to make statues, right? Like they used to Alexander, whatever. All these statues, this is prohibited. You cannot make realistic images like this. Like, or even people when they make like, you've seen them, like really realistic drawings with eyes and ears. We cannot do that because it's imitating the creation of Allah, and we cannot do that. And there are exceptions, of course, though, like in ID photos and things where you have no choice. And this comes under the ruling of when we have an exception to the ruling. No, not an exception, but something where we have to take that, where we are allowed to, like for example, if somebody is on an island and there's no food available for them except pigs, and they're going to starve to death if they don't eat it. Are they allowed to eat the pigs or not? You're allowed to because you're going to starve to death. But otherwise you're not allowed to. Like here nowadays, can you go to the store and eat pork? No, because you have all the other food available for you. So that's another concept in Islam that we got to know. So when hearing or reading the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam's name being mentioned, you must send greetings. What should you say? Somebody say it. You guys should know this. Come on. Everybody all together. Yallah. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Yes. That's one way. Or you can say alayhi salatu wasalam. Upon him be peace and blessings. Same thing, just a different wording. And it's important for us to do that. We need to make sure we do it. And some of the scholars said it's mandatory for us to do it every time we hear the name of the Prophet ﷺ. So we should not forget that because Allah might hold us accountable. He may hold us accountable. Why did we not say it when we had heard it? Next. Charity actually increases one's wealth. How is that? Can somebody explain? Like, give me a good explanation of how that's the case. Were you raising your hand? No, okay. You tell me. Yeah, your good deeds, Allah Azza wa Jal will multiply your good deeds. So if you do a good deed, Allah Azza wa Jal will multiply it. But that's not exactly what it is. That's other people. I mean, Allahu Alam, it could be. But the thing is that we have a concept in Islam called barakah. What does barakah mean? Huh? No. Barakah. Come on. Somebody should know this, yeah? Barakah? Yes. It starts with in English, it means blessings. It means blessings. So Allah will bless your wealth. And there's a meaning of barakah. And one brother was explaining this to me, and it was a very good explanation that, think about it like, do you see some people that are very poor, they don't have a lot of wealth, but they live very fulfilling lives. Even though they only have like a few $100s, it's as if they have millions of dollars, you know? This is the definition of barakah, because Allah Azza wa Jal has put barakah in it. Although they have so little, it's been expounded and expanded to much more. But you see some people who are millionaires, who are rich, and they never find any fulfillment from the money and the wealth that they have. There's some people that have, 200 Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and they're not happy. Allah Azza wa Jal did not put barakah in their wealth and in what they have. But Allah Azza wa Jal will put barakah in your wealth if you give for His sake. And on top of that, you get all the good deeds in the Day of Judgment, which is what matters, right? The next life is what really matters. Don't forget that. Okay. Is it allowed to take or give interest in Islam? Does anybody know what interest is? Okay, so that's part of it. That's part of it. Do you know?
What did he say?
He said, okay, so the brother said that interest is when you put something in a bank and you take it out later. Very close, but there's a big part there that is missing, a little part there, yeah? Okay, yeah, so interest is in different forms. So interest in and of itself, basically in like in easy terms, it's like when you give money to somebody, like I'm going to loan you $100, but you have to pay me $125. This is interest. You see that? That he gave you back $100, but he also gave you back extra money. This is interest. But interest can also be that you pay it. Like when you have a mortgage, for example, on a home, and you have to pay 2.5% interest. You're paying interest. Both of these are haram, and it's a major sin. And riba, consuming riba is more haram, it's a greater sin than even zina. And this is proven in the authentic hadith where the Prophet ﷺ told us about even consuming 1 dirham of riba, how it's even greater than the act of zina. SubhanAllah. So we have to be very careful. And Allah Azza wa Jal forbade it clearly in the Quran. In Surah Al-Baqarah, it's very dangerous. Interest is very dangerous. But unfortunately, nowadays, people say it's everywhere and you can't avoid it, but you can. You just have to be firm and be strong in that. So when you guys get old enough to have bank accounts and stuff, be careful. Ask those questions. Tell your parents, I don't want any interest. Just be firm on that because it's very dangerous. Interest is very serious. So is it allowed to talk while in the toilet room? Yes or no? No, okay. And I think this one had come up earlier, so that one was already explained, I'm pretty sure. So, true or false? Muslim men can wear gold. No, yeah, they can't wear gold. Exactly. Can they wear false gold, like something that looks gold but it's not gold? It's makruh. So sometimes you see brothers, even some shuyukh and imams, they have something that has like a gold watch, but it's not real gold. This is disliked. It's not prohibited. It's disliked. How about another question? Can they wear a diamond watch? Aren't diamonds more expensive than gold? Huh? It's more expensive, but is it haram to wear a diamond watch for men? It's not haram. It's not. You see, here's the thing. Where do we get the ruling that wearing gold for men is haram? Where does it come from? It comes from the Prophet ﷺ, from the Quran and the Sunnah, right? But there's no such thing for diamonds. So here's a concept, guys. When we say something's haram, by default, everything's halal unless it's proven otherwise that it's haram, okay? So somebody can't come and say, wearing this is haram, has a black and white, you can't wear it. No, wear it. Show me the evidence where it's, right? So by default, everything's halal until proven otherwise, okay? So if you guys get confused about that, just keep that in mind. Okay, in Islam, is it allowed to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? No. No? Okay, why? No, anybody know why? I mean, we all know this, right? But like, why? Does anybody have an explanation they want to give me? Any older brothers want to give me a reason? Yeah? Okay, yeah, could be. Anybody in here know? Anybody know? Give me a reason? No? Okay. So, no, they moved the question there. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I can go back.
No, it's okay, and it's okay. I remember. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So no, it's a sinful thing. It's a sinful thing, and not even that, but even before you get to that step, Allah Azza wa Jal gave us prohibitions, like in Surah An-Nur, when Allah Azza wa Jal commanded the believing men to lower from their gaze, that they have to lower their gaze. They can't just stare at women and look at them. You can't do that. Allah Azza wa Jal prohibited that, right? And this right here is the next step after that. But Allah Azza wa Jal already prohibited that. And this is something that opens the doors to things that are far worse. So we have to be careful not to do these things. And it's something that Allah Azza wa Jal has clearly prohibited in Islam. So be careful, especially for those that are in public school. And even living here in America, things are really bad here. Things are really dangerous. In the schools, your friends might even have girlfriends, boyfriends, but we can't do that as Muslims. We have Iman. We believe in Allah. Was anybody here yesterday? Anybody was here yesterday? Yeah? You guys remember learning about the 6 pillars of Iman and all that? We have Iman in our hearts. So we have to keep that at the forefront of our minds and avoid these haram things. Okay, next one. True or false? Yeah, true or false? Visiting the sick is a sunnah. Come on, guys, come on. What is it? True, it is a sunnah. It's very rewarding to go visit the sick. It's very highly rewarding. So if you guys have a sick family member, or you guys know somebody who's sick and you're able to visit them and you're not going to get, they're not like have COVID-19, they're going to make you sick, go visit them and make sure that you do that because it's a highly rewarding thing. Okay. What is kafara? What is it? Anybody know? Expiation. It's like something you do to remove a sin. And there are different types of that. There are different kinds depending on the different matter. This is a more advanced thing, but just know that it's something that you do. It's a deed you do to remove a sin. Okay, next question. What is the miracle of Ibrahim alayhi salam? Yes, the fire will not burn him. Does anybody know the story? Okay, can anybody explain the fire? Like, what kind of fire was this? Like, what are we talking about here, yeah? Here, say that, say it.
The fire was so big the birds couldn't even fly over it.
Yeah, exactly. So, during the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, the people went so far against him, they made this gigantic, huge fire. Gigantic, huge fire. And it was so massive, nothing like it had been seen before. And it was so hot that birds that were flying above it, they would die. They couldn't even fly over it. And they put Ibrahim alayhi salam into the fire. But Allah protected Ibrahim. This is a true thing. We believe in this. This is true. Allah saved Ibrahim, and this is a miracle that happened. Yeah. So yeah, he was protected and he survived it. I'm not sure, Yani. I'm not sure. I need to refresh my knowledge on that. Is every Muslim asked to propagate Islam? What does propagate mean? That's a big word, right? Anybody know what propagate means? Spread. Yeah, to spread. When you propagate something, you spread it and you make it more well known. So as Muslims, we have to make da'wah. Have you heard that word before? Da'wah? Yeah, we have to invite people to Islam. I mean, that's a very important thing, right? Does anybody know? Okay, I have a question for you guys. True or false? You tell me if it's true or false. If you invite someone to Islam and they accept Islam because of you, do you get part of their good deeds? Okay, not part of it, but on the Day of Judgment, will Allah give you some good? Yes, you will, exactly. So look at that, guys. And that even applies with yourselves. If you guys see your brother doing something haram, and you guys give him a good advice, you will get some rewards. Maybe if you teach him that maybe he's not praying Isha prayer, right? You tell him you need to pray Isha, you give him the evidence, you get some of the rewards because you had given him that advice. So don't forget that. Okay. Are lotteries involving money allowed in Islam? First of all, is the lottery a type of gambling? Yeah, okay, so what's the answer then? Exactly. Common sense. Good job. Okay. True or false, women can trim eyebrows? Can women or men trim eyebrows? No, okay. Can women trim eyebrows then? No. The authentic hadith says that Allah Azza wa Jalla curses the one who does that, meaning the person whose job is doing that, and the one who gets it done. It's a clear warning. And that's, again, comes to things that when Allah said it, we follow it. We follow it. We don't ask questions. We don't have to, yani, right? Allah Azza wa Jalla is al-Hakim. There's a reason why He put that. Who protects life and death? Allah alone, yes. Allah Azza wa Jalla is the one who gives life, and He's the one who causes you to die. Okay? If somebody comes up to you and says, no, this statue is what does that? No, we don't believe in that. That's shirk. Okay? Allah is the only one who's the creator, and this comes back down to Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Remember? Do you guys remember the 3 parts of Tawheed? Do you guys know them? Anybody know them? Yeah, what's up? If you have what? Yeah, a unibrow is not part of your eyebrow. That's something that is abnormal. So you're allowed to remove something that's abnormal. Right? Okay. So what were the first 2 sins upon the earth? Yeah, okay, who did them? Who did these? Does anybody know who did these sins? Like, who was the one who did that? Huh? No, he didn't murder. There was murder, yeah. Iblis, bro. Shaitan. Right? Shaitan did not want to listen to Allah. When Allah told the angels, and He told Shaitan as well, to prostrate to Adam, he did not do it. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran that he was arrogant. He was arrogant. So think about that. Shaitan was the one who did this arrogant crime. So when we're arrogant, a'udhu billah, we have a characteristic that Shaitan was displaying. And this is very serious because the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever has a mustard seed amount of arrogance in their heart will not be admitted to Jannah. SubhanAllah. So we need to be humble. We need to be very humble. Nobody's better than the other. We don't need to act like we're better than other people, you know. We need to be very humble with each other. Just because somebody has a big money and one person's poor doesn't make him necessarily better than the other person. But we need to get that concept, you know. We cannot be arrogant. Just because one brother is Arab and one brother is Pakistani and one brother is from Nigeria, you cannot. There's no racism. There's no issue. We cannot be arrogant over those things. Okay. True or false? Muslims can spy on each other. No, and Allah prohibited that in the Quran. We cannot spy on each other. Okay. Next. Are Muslim women allowed to dress like men? No, and we just went over that, right? Men cannot imitate women, and women cannot imitate men. This is Islam. Okay? Next. Is it allowed to talk while in the toilet room? So we just went over this one. Yeah. Correct. Does talking or laughing during the prayer nullify the prayer? It does. Okay, I have a question. What if you talk on accident? Like what if like you're praying and like there's something like and you like by accident you say some words? Is your prayer invalid or not? Maybe it's not by accident. Your prayer is not invalid. According to the opinion that seems to be the more authentic opinion, it's not. Your prayer is not by accident. But let's say you're praying next to your buddy and you whisper to him something. Is your prayer invalidated? Yeah, you cannot talk when you pray. You also cannot eat when you pray. I know some people do that. I've seen praying next to people that are chewing gum. Or they're eating pizza. You can't do that. You gotta spit the pizza out or eat it before you can pray and you eat at the same time. And you also cannot laugh. Guys, laughing is very important though. Laughing is very serious. You cannot laugh when you pray. Sometimes you might get a funny thought, something funny, but you cannot laugh. If you laugh, you gotta start over. Okay? And if it happens to you on accident, okay, just stop your prayer, just start over. Don't take that risk of you having prayed because you laughed and you're lazy, you don't want to start over. Be safe, start over, and don't risk yourself doing that stuff. Why are women in Islam required to veil? I don't know necessarily what it means by veil. Maybe it means niqab, maybe it means the abaya. But nonetheless, what does it mean? I mean, are they required to? Are they required to cover themselves? Yes. Now there's a difference of opinion on the niqab or not the niqab. But the point is, women are required to wear something that is flowy, something that's long, that does not show their body parts, that is not skin tight, that you can see the organs, like you see the arms and the leg. You cannot do that. Okay? Women cannot wear tight clothes like that. They have to wear something long and flowy. Okay.
So another thing to add to that last question is because the answer said that so as not to display the beauty to unrelated men. But something that I think is even more important is women wear the hijab or women cover themselves, not because of men or because of anything like that, but ultimately because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them to do so in the Quran. So for any girl that is here, I don't want you to say, oh, I wear my hijab because I don't want other men to see me. No, that's not the primary reason. The primary reason is because you're a Muslim and because Allah commanded you to do so. And if we remember what Sheikh Abdul Rashid said yesterday when he was talking about hijab, he was talking about how as a Muslim you're wearing the hijab because you are trying to have taqwa and obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost.
Yes. And adding on to what he said, Allah Azza wa Jal himself made that mandatory in the Quran. Okay, Allah made it in the same ayah that I just mentioned about men having to lowering their sight. In the same surah, right after Allah said that, when Allah addressed the women, He told them that they have to cover themselves. And said to the believing women to lower from their gaze. And then, as Allah continues, that they have to cover themselves. They have to put their khumur ala juyubihin. Okay, yallah. Next one. Is a Muslim allowed to love or venerate disbelievers? What does venerate mean? I know it's another big word. Venerate. Yeah? Yeah, I have to think that, oh, like Messi is so cool. Messi just got like that, what? No, was it Ronaldo or Messi who got that, like that flip thing? He like did that flying kick, whatever. Ronaldo, okay, I don't watch football, man, okay. Anyway, okay, yeah, same thing, huh? Okay. The point is, as Muslims, we cannot venerate or love or put these people on. There's a saying in English, putting somebody on a pedestal. You know what I mean? When you put somebody like, oh, he's so good, he's so amazing, you can't do that. Only Allah Azza wa Jal has that status with us, you know? And here's another thing, guys. It's not befitting for us to waste our time. Muslims do not waste their time, okay? Keep that in mind. Sometimes you might be playing a video game, you might be watching soccer for 6, 7, 8 hours. This is a waste of time, guys. To waste your time like that, waste your day like that. And on top of that, that some people miss their prayer because of that. I hope it's none of you guys that are playing video games or watching TV and you don't pray Dhuhr, you don't pray Asr, you don't wake up for Fajr. That better not be you guys, okay? It better not be, alright? Oh, home bed, I like that. Good job. Be like this guy, Wake up for Fajr, guys. But we cannot venerate and make these things like to that degree, okay? Is it allowed in Islam to scoff, mock, or name call each other? No, you can't. Muslims use good words. And here it references in Surah Al-Hujurat, and Allah Azza wa Jal addressed this thing. So we can't be rude to each other, guys. We can't be rude and make fun of each other. We have to be serious. We have to be respectful to each other. Okay. In Islam, it is fard to attend the janazah. And, okay. Okay, guys, here's a question. When a Muslim dies, what do we do for them? When a Muslim dies? We pray for them, but also, like, before we pray for them, we have to do a few things. Okay, yeah, you gotta dig a hole, yeah. But, like, before we dig the hole, we have to wash the body. This is what Allah Azza wa Jalla decreed for us to do. Yeah, we just have to wash the body. We have to wash the body, and then we have to pray the janazah. But not everybody has to pray the janazah. How many Muslims are there in the world? Over 2 billion Muslims. So not every Muslim has to pray the janazah when somebody dies. As long as a group of them does it, it's sufficient. Okay? There's the difference between two words. I'm going to tell you two words. Fard ayn, which is like something that's fard for every person, like praying 5 times a day, and fard kifaya, which is fard for a group of people. Same with the adhan. Same with many different things. Okay, next question. How many do we got left, man? A lot of questions. Oh, okay. It is the blank to use little water. Okay, try not to look. Can somebody answer that question for me without looking? Come on, guys. I see you guys all looking at this. Come on, just tell me the answer. Yeah? Sunnah. Okay. How about I give you, okay, do you guys know like a bottle of water, like what you get at like the grocery store, like, you know, you get a case of water? The Prophet ﷺ would use a similar amount to that in making his wudu. Nowadays, when we go to the bathroom, we put the tap on and we got the water flowing like a whole river. That's not the sunnah. That's not the sunnah. And to a certain degree, it can be haram to make israf, to be wasteful. Allah Azza wa Jal commanded us to not be wasteful, okay? So it's a sunnah to use a little bit of water. Can women shake the hands of non-mahram men? No, they can't. They cannot touch each other. And here's a scary hadith, guys. Scary hadith, because you guys might see this. Your teacher shakes the principal's hand, and she's a man, and he's a man, she's a woman. Yeah, okay, got it right. And like that stuff is not allowed. And there's a very scary hadith where the Prophet ﷺ told us that it's better for a man to have a rod of iron put to his head than to touch a woman who's prohibited for him. Would anybody want that? Okay, would anybody want to get stung by a bee? No, everybody. You have? Oh, did it hurt? Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, exactly. So think that thing hurts, but how much would the other thing hurt? Like what the hadith says, that would hurt far more. So if you guys wouldn't want to get stung by a bee, you definitely wouldn't want to get something like a rod inserted through your head as a punishment. So avoid this. Men cannot shake the hand of a non-mahram woman, of non-mahram women, and women cannot shake the hand of a non-mahram man. Okay? Is that it?
Jazakallah khair, Brother Jawad. Everyone, let's say Jazakallah khair to Brother Jawad. May Allah reward you, inshallah. So next, we're gonna go next to our the next item on our program, and this is gonna be a presentation by Sister Jula Pani. She will be giving us some health tips in the lab, and we will be having the presentation on the screen. So if you want to pay attention to the screens and listen to our sister's presentation. Jazakumullah khair. Where's Brother Dara? Oh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. This portion of our seminar will be directed towards mental health and mental health in general. A lot of us, our youths, are talking about it, they're asking for help. In our community, a lot of times, especially Muslims, it's a taboo. We don't want to talk about it, we don't want to believe it, we don't understand it. And we have a resource within our community. Jula will do his own, her own biography, but very knowledgeable, runs a very prestigious health medical institute, wrote a book about mental health affecting our youth and even us as adults sometimes, and we're in denial. We don't understand it. We don't know what to do. We don't know which direction to take. She's here to help us understand it a little bit and give us resources, and there will be more of this kinds of talk within ourselves, our youths especially. As parents, we need to be educated about it so the youth can come to us and talk to us when they're having these issues. Jula, thank you so much for coming, Jazakallah Khairan. We appreciate your service to our community, and we're honored that you're here with us today.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Jula Pane. Some of you know me in the community, some haven't. I currently work for WakeNet. I'm managing their first inpatient psychiatric hospital that they ever has. We opened in May. We also have an outpatient clinic that helps stabilizes mental health, medication management, and crisis management. But today, as I'm talking to all of you, mental health should not be a stigma anymore. If somebody can comfortably say, I have a headache, you can comfortably say, I have anxiety, I have depression. And I know that with our community, we have a very diverse Muslim community, and our aim is to highlight not only the challenges, but also the supportive paths available for obtaining necessary care. Mental health challenges affect individuals everywhere, irrespective of age, gender, socioeconomic status, in all communities. These issues may remain underreported due to cultural stigma and misconceptions about mental health. But early recognition and intervention are very, very important in our holistic well-being. Recognizing the signs of mental health issues is very important. Common signs include difficulty concentrating, extreme mood swings, getting very irritable, social withdrawal, staying by yourself, don't want to get out of your room, don't want to talk to your parents. These are all symptoms that we need to be aware of. Changes in eating habits, sleeping habits, and anything that's new. You know your family, you see them every day. If you see anything that's new, that's a sign of concern. Feelings of anxiety, losing interest just on the things that you have enjoyed doing, and just have a persistent feeling of sadness and just anxiety. These are all indicators that somebody needs help. There are few things that are emergency signs that if you see in your family, your friends, your relatives, these are things that you know that they should go and get help. If you see somebody thinking of hurting themselves or trying to hurt other people or expressing or indicating that, like, we see a lot of youths cutting themselves, just simple things, cutting themselves, cutting their body. These are all emergency signs that they need help. People having intense fear, discomfort, palpitations, just feeling that they are choking. These are all indicators of panic disorder. Other symptoms such as psychosis, these are symptoms of hallucinations, seeing things that are not there, or having beliefs that both me and you know that these are not realities. So these are all signs that this person needs help. Extreme confusion and just disorientation. You don't recognize your parents. You don't know who your mom is. You don't know who your friend is. Just extremely confused. These people need to get help. And there are other places, a lot of places where we can go and seek help. We need to advocate for each other, for one another. And then when you see these signs, they are very important to seek immediate help. Some resources that are available in the community, you can go to urgent care, you can go to the emergency departments. For severe psychological distress or physical injury, please do help these individuals get help. Mental health crisis and suicide line. If you call 988, they have trained individuals, they can talk to you, they can point you to resources, and they can help you. Even if you don't have transportation to go and seek help, they can point you to these resources. The Veterans Crisis Helpline, if we have veterans, people who serve in the military, they have a special help line for those people, and that is 838-225, and we'll provide these numbers for Usman so they can post it somewhere. We have DMAG recovery services. They're also a resource that we can go in Wake County. We have Carolina Outreach. It's a very resourceful organization. They're here to support the entire community. Triangular Springs is a private hospital, but they also have specialized mental health support and outpatient services. The resources are available in Wake County, like Monarch Behavioral Health. You have services that offer cultural competent care, including counseling, therapy, support, and just therapeutic groups. In conclusion, let's remember that recognizing the need for help and seeking it is a sign of strength. Let's all commit to being vigilant and very proactive in our approach to mental health. Our collective vigilance and proactivity can make a significant difference in breaking the stigma of mental health. Let's ensure that we all have a supportive environment for everyone who needs it. And thank you for listening to me talk about mental health. It's a passion of mine, and pretty much they are very, very good resources. I have, like I just said, I just wrote a book. I have copies that are free. I'm going to post the QR codes. You can download the book for free. I'm going to run promotions to have the book free on Kindle again on Amazon. You can download it for free. And if you need any help, my information is available. And just in our Gambian community, we have a lot of people that work in mental health, and we're here to support you. Thank you.
Just like allow her and Sister Jula well said, as I said earlier, she is a resource within our community, so knowledgeable to even write a book about it. Let's all get that book. I have it myself. I've downloaded it for myself and my children, and we will be going through it and reading and talking about it. Any help that you guys need, if you don't know which direction to take, Uncle Usman is here. His information is here. My information is here. Jula's information is here. I can guarantee you that she would do everything she can to help. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the mental health we need within ourselves to worship him as best as we can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan, sister.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan, Sister Jula. May Allah reward you abundantly. Did anybody learn anything new about mental health? That maybe you want to raise your hand if you learned something new today that you didn't know before? Nobody's confident enough to do that, okay. Did anybody learn about any new resources? Because our sister was mentioning some resources. Okay, mashallah. So some resources were shared. And this is something, as our sister had mentioned, that the issue with mental health, it's something that a lot of people, there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Stigma. Jazakallah khair. There's a lot of stigma when it comes to mental health. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge it. But when we're able to get to this point where we talk about mental health and you're talking about having anxiety or other things like that, just like being able to say that, hey, I have a headache, you're able to acknowledge it. And people hear that, hey, he has a headache. Nobody's thinking, oh, he has a headache. If we get to that place, inshallah, as a community, bismillah, that's where we're hoping that we're able to get to a space, a safe space, where a person can talk about their issues that they might have, just like they need to go to the hospital for, having a cough or a cold, bismillah. So we are able to support ourselves as a community in that way. So today, mashallah, we're very much ahead of schedule. And the next item on the agenda, as we had mentioned yesterday, that this was a two-part event, two-day event. Today we had the Kahoot tournament, and bismillah, we're going to have the consolation prize just like we did yesterday at the end of the event, because we want to. Oh, we're going to give it right now? Okay, Uncle Usman's arms were turned. Oh, I think I do have the list, yes. So I guess we're going to do that right now if I can find the list. But if I can't find the list, you have to wait until the end. But while I'm trying to get the list, the other thing I wanted to mention was about this event. Can anyone explain to me what this whole thing that we call the Triangle Muslim Seminar, what is it about? Yes. You said learn new things about Islam. Sure, yeah. But what else? What is that? Yes, my gentleman at the door. Sorry, I can't. You see, I can't hear you because people are talking. So, can you raise your voice up a little bit, or can you come closer? Yes. MashaAllah, to learn new things about like something we're not supposed to do in prayer. That's true. So one of the things that we want to learn, one of the things this whole program is set up for is education. So a lot of the things that my young brothers have been saying is about learning new things. And sometimes you don't even have to learn something new. You just have to learn something old, relearn it. Because the Prophet ﷺ told us that there's nothing new in the deen. Like the deen, Allah told us in the Quran, is complete. So it's not necessarily that we're going to learn something new. We want to relearn things. Maybe it might be new information for us. Maybe it is stuff that we know already. So we wanted to facilitate an event where we're inviting folks from the Triangle community. So that is not just this masjid, but other masajid around. So we have, like yesterday, we had one of our leaders from the Raleigh Islamic Association of Raleigh. And just to show you guys that this is not just a Raleigh Islamic Institute event, but it's a Raleigh Islamic Institute-led event that is partnering with other communities within our area. We also want to facilitate an avenue where we provide mentorship to our youth. As you will find, one of the big things about our community here is we're focused a lot on the youth, because the youth is the future. Uncle Usman, Uncle Makumba, and Uncle Salam, and many of the parents that are here will tell you stories of how this whole community started in someone's living room. And started from that tiny little space. Many of the kids that are here were not even born then. Am I right, Uncle Usman? Many of the kids that are here were not born then. But alhamdulillah, from the effort that have been put forward, alhamdulillah, we're able to have this space. We're able to have this area where kids can come in. Alhamdulillah, they're able to find community here. So we want to continue to facilitate that, bismillah. And so having this space right here is part of why we're running this event. And then the last thing is productivity. We want to make sure that we are finding ways to make our youth more productive. Yesterday's event, what was yesterday's event? Can someone just say it out? Jeopardy, mashallah. Yesterday was Jeopardy, right? And who were the participants in the Jeopardy events? College students and young professionals, right? So these are people that just not too long ago finished college and they're working, maybe looking for a job. Welcome to the club. Or, people that are still in college now, right? So we want to make sure that they continue to remain connected to the masjid. Many of those people that either just finished college or in college now, they're either students now or they were students here. And we want to make sure that they continue to stay connected here. And then also today we had, what event do we have today? Someone please tell me. The Kahoot, mashallah. I guess we only have the young brothers. The young sisters are not here. They're sleeping, I'm sure. So we have the Kahoot today. And it was supposed to be for the high school and middle schoolers. But then we had a few people that shouldn't have been playing the game that played. But alhamdulillah, it's all in good fun. But again, we want to try as much as possible to facilitate to have everyone participate in it. And then inshallah, the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to give out prizes. Then I would have Uncle Makumba, bi'Iznillah, give the remarks, or would that be after Aisha? Okay, so we're going to have Aisha, then Uncle Makumba will give us the thank you remarks, but that's not to close out. That is just because we've noticed, why are you doing that? Why did you do that? But that's just because, can you get something to clean that up, please? No, you. Yes. Yes, you. I saw you pour it. I saw you pour it. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. My bad. But inshallah, we're going to have Uncle Makumba after Salat al-Aisha would give the thank you remarks. And based on that, they will then have the main event with Sheikh Abdul Rashid and our Sheikh and Imam Muammar Dahnoun would give us a talk. So the talk is going to be more like an interview and talk kind of setting, because we've seen this shuyukh. Does everybody know Sheikh Abdul Rashid? Yeah? Please say yes, please. You guys saw him yesterday, right? Awesome. And does anybody here know Imam Muammar? Yeah? I guess, I don't know. People, please answer me. Does anybody here, okay, who does not know Imam Muammar? Okay, awesome. So you guys are going to know him today. So he's one of the imams in the local area. So inshallah, and it was him and Sheikh Abdul Rashid that were here last year. Inshallah, they'll be here again this year, bi'Iznillah. And we're going to be learning about them. We're going to learn about who they are, where they're from, and all of that good stuff. And then they'll give us some talk, inshallah. And then at that point, we will give out, we would then close out by having refreshments again. But for right now, I would call Uncle Usman, or who has the gifts that will be giving out the gifts? Okay, so I have the names. So I'll call out the names, inshallah. I think IZ is right? Is it Dean, I'm guessing, or IZ? Okay, IZ Malone. Takbir. I think that's your brother that had it, right? Yes, there you go. Uncle Usman, do you mind giving the sisters, because they're the sisters, the rest of them, so they don't have to come up. They don't have to come up so we can get them. So the next is going to be our sister Maryam Fall. Takbir. And our next is Mami Aisha Boy. Allahu Akbar. Awanyang. At this point, I've become Senegalese or Gambian because I'm saying the names right, I guess. It sounds so good. I feel like I sound like Uncle Osman. I know, it's shameful. And then our last sister is Sister Hafsa Malone. Takbir. So brothers, even though you guys are answering questions, you should at least show up more, huh? I don't know what was happening. All the sisters got all the answers. So inshallah, the next item on the agenda is for us to make Salatul Isha in about 15-ish minutes. But before we get to that point, I wanted us to go over a couple of things yesterday because the Sheikh Abdul Rashid, he shared a number of things that I thought were very interesting. And I wanted us to go over them together. Can anyone remind us what he talked about? Taqwa, mashallah. The Sheikh talked about taqwa. Now, how many people remember that the Sheikh talked about taqwa? I'm guessing a few people. Maybe now that it has been said taqwa, some people will remember that. Oh yeah, I think he talked about that. One of the things I want to highlight for every one of us, hopefully we take benefit from it, is there's a concept called active listening. Okay? What is it called? Active listening. Say it again. MashaAllah. So this is whereby someone is saying something and you're there to listen to what they're saying, but you're not just sitting there, right? You're actually trying to listen and get something from what they're saying. And one of the things that we do a lot of us find ourselves doing it, is that when we sit for a talk or something, we're just there at that time. Sometimes you even ask, what did they say? Like, I don't know, right? Because we're not paying attention. But one of the things we want to do, Brother Jawad talked about it earlier, that the Muslim is very, very conscious of their time. The Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to give out as much as we can, right? This is part of what the Muslim does. When you have money, you try to donate it. When you have your time, you try to donate it. One of the things that that we're told to never be greedy, right? But what is one thing that you should be greedy about? Yes. What is the one thing we should be greedy about? Can someone say it? I'm hearing money. I'm hearing deeds. Blessings? No. Can I hear from one of my little sisters at the back? What is something we should be greedy about? One of the things we should be greedy about is our time. What is something we should be greedy about? Our time, because time is very, very limited. The time that we have is very, very short, okay? So you want to make sure that you're very deliberate of what you're doing with your time. Whenever you're somewhere that you're benefiting something, you want to be deliberate about it. So when, like we sat yesterday listening, how many of you guys took any kind of notes from what was said yesterday? I'm going to say not a lot of people. And I'll say not a lot of people because even though nobody raised their hands, I want to believe maybe one or two people did write something down. Either you wrote down, with a pen and paper, or you wrote down in your phone. If you don't do that before, I want you to do me a favor. Every time you sit in a gathering, every time you sit listening to a lecture, what should you do? Take notes. Write something down. Even if it is just one thing, make sure you don't waste your time, because it's going to be a big, big waste of time if you go to a sitting or you go to a lecture and then you step out of the door and I ask you, what did you learn? Like, I don't remember. Okay? That would be a huge waste of time. So like yesterday, Sheikh Abdul Rashid talked about a couple of things. One of the things he talked about, one of the surahs he started talking about was Surah Al-Mu'minun, right? And he said there are three things that we're going to experience. I don't know if anyone can remember that. He said three things we're going to experience. What was the first one? He said we've already experienced one, and there are two more that we're going to come. What was the first thing that he said we would experience? Oh, that we already experienced. What about life? What about creation? It talked about, and you're on the right path. You're on the right path. I'll give you that. It talked about how the first thing that we're going to experience, or we've already experienced, is birth. Okay? Being given birth to. That was the first thing that he talked about. And he said the second thing was what? Death. And that has not come for us yet, right? Alhamdulillah, we're all sitting here. And he talked about how we should prepare for that, right? And then the third thing was what? Resurrection, mashallah. So good. We're remembering these things. Again, I'm trying to highlight the point that a lot of the times we listen, but maybe sometimes we don't listen actively, right? We just listen and it's kind of passive. I just hear it. But some of us might feel like, you know what, I remember everything. But if you're not writing it down, if you don't have a place where you can go back and see, hey, what did the Sheikh talk about here? Or sometimes someone might be giving you a lecture and will tell you, there are 5 things, okay? 5 things. The first is this. And he starts talking. The second is this. And he starts talking. The third is this. And he starts talking. And then he goes on to something else. And he didn't talk about the fourth or the fifth one. Now, if you were not paying attention, you would have missed that opportunity. And this is not because he doesn't want to share with you. It's just because time is limited. But when you're actively listening, you'd be able to go back and say, Sheikh, you missed something. You didn't tell us the fourth and the fifth one. Now, I say that because yesterday, there was something that Sheikh Abdul Rashid was telling us. And if we had written stuff down, some of us might have caught that he had been talking about the characteristics of the people that have taqwa, al-muttaqun, and he had told us, and I'm trying to see where I wrote it down, but it was this exact example. I can't find my notes because my notes is all over the place, but he had mentioned about 4 things, and he mentioned the first one, and the second one, and the third one, and then he didn't mention the fourth one, and he continued talking on something else, but because of time, it went like that. And I was going to go ahead and ask him this, but I wasn't able to, and I wanted to see if anybody else caught that. If we're not catching things like that, brothers and sisters, we might be missing opportunities with these people of knowledge. Because you know the thing about knowledge is Allah bestows it upon whom He wills. And when we have the opportunity for these people of knowledge to sit with us and we're asking them questions, we want to make sure we are deliberate about it. So if there's anything that I've said in this long talk, because you guys know me at this point, I talk too much. My wife would tell me, okay, thank you for the lecture. Let's go on to something else. So if anything that I've said from this long lecture, what is one thing I want you to pick from it? Active listening. Thank you very much. And what is it about active listening exactly I want you to pick from it? Take notes. Active listening and take notes. So this should be your best friend if you don't have a pen and a paper. All right? So inshallah, with that, we're going to come to a little bit of a early close because Isha is going to be in 10 minutes. We're going to start Salatul Isha. So we're going to have everyone make wudu if you don't have your wudu and stand in row to prepare for Salah. And the Adhan is going to be called. We're going to have Salatul Isha at 7:30 p.m. exactly. And then right after that, we'll start the main event for tonight. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.